Welcome back to LukeTheTrader, and today here for another interview, this time with Northstar Gold and the CEO, Brian Fowler. And could you please introduce yourself and the company, perhaps?
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Yeah, I'm Brian Fowler, President, CEO, Director of Northstar Gold Corp. We're listed under the ticker NSG on the CSE. Company's focused on copper and gold exploration, primarily in the Kirkland Lake area of Ontario.
And my first and usual question is, why should investors be interested at the current moment in Northstar Gold? What makes you special in this sense?
Northstar, like I said, we're focused on copper and gold. We're situated, very well situated in the prolific Abitibi Belt, northeastern Ontario, 18 kilometers southeast of Kirkland Lake. Our flagship property is the Miller Gold property. We've been working that for about 12 years now. And the exploration that we've done to date is to find a large alkalic gold system, Kirkland-style gold system near surface, with a number of drill intercepts ranging from 70 to 750 gold gram meters. And more recently, we've been exploring a couple kilometers to the southwest and on a historic copper trend called the Boston Creek Copper Belt, and where we've discovered some very high-grade VMS-style mineralization. So we've been last year or so we've been focused primarily on the copper side of things in light of the critical minerals load. So Northstar is unique in that we've got both commodities and high-grade quantities on one property that, like I said, is the logistics are amazing. It's road accessible. There's a high transmission power line and a rail line through the properties. There's numerous mills within trucking distance. So checks all the boxes. So yeah, that's our flagship project, and that's why I think investors should take notice of us.
I mean, you don't also only have copper, but also, well, other precious metals. And that's why I would like to ask you to give us an overview of your properties and what the current mission is with those, perhaps.
Certainly. We've got 400% owned properties. They're primarily, we've got two properties that are under option. And more recently, we just signed 2 letters of intent to evaluate and possibly acquire 2 adjoining properties. These our flagship I mentioned is the Miller Copper Gold property. It's 18 kilometers southeast of Kirkland Lake, and we've, like I said, we've been exploring it for a number of years. We got about $6 million in exploration so far since we went public by way of IPO, and we've defined a large gold and more recently copper system on the property. Our other, just immediately to the northwest, is the Rose Grove property, which occupies a similar geology as the Miller Copper Gold property. Combined, both properties about 2,500 hectares. Rose Grove is a little more, is not as advanced. It's got a fair bit of glacial cover, but we've been methodically advancing it. We've defined an extension of the Boston Creek Copper Trend. We just did a bunch of NMI soil sampling, and we've defined about a 3-kilometer trend of potential VMS style mineralization, as well as a number of spot gold anomalies as well. So we're with that. That's our main areas. About 65 or 35 kilometers to the south west is our Bryce property. We've got over $4 million of exploration on that to date. About 20,000 meters of drilling, and it's a gold precious metal gold porphyry with results that include about 80 meters of a gram. And it's also got a precious metal enriched VMS component as well, with 2 to 3 grams gold and silver, about 3% zinc over 20 meters or so. So these zones are open to expansion. Our third property is about 65 kilometers to the southwest. It's in the Temagami Lake area. It's a milestone cobalt, copper, nickel property. Historic tech property. It's actually got a historic resource estimate of 500,000 tons, averaging 0.5% copper and 0.1 cobalt. And it's open to expansion. And again, it's 100% owned. It's actually along strike of the Texas historic Temagami mine, which produced over 900,000 tons of, I believe it was 16% copper, which is just phenomenal. So it was direct shipping ore. So that's pretty much our portfolio. As I mentioned, we more recently signed 2 letters of intent on properties to the northwest and southeast of the Miller Copper Gold property to occupy extensions of the historic Boston Creek Copper Trail. So we're basically well positioned now, and we've got the ground position that we need to back a large discovery that we think we're on the verge of making on the Miller Copper Gold property this summer, hopefully.
And one of your properties, specifically in the Allied Gold Zone, is very advanced in terms of exploration. And you mentioned on a video that you essentially are searching for a senior exploration partner because you wouldn't be able to fund this amount of exploration. So how is the search for a senior partner been going?
Well, it's ongoing. A bit of background on the Allied Gold Zone. We got about in 2021 we commissioned SRK Canada to undertake what's called an exploration target study, which is essentially based upon a resource estimate. So they took our data and modeled it, and then provided grade and tonnage estimates on the low end, as well as being able to look at things more optimistically to provide an upper range of potential tons and grade estimates. The upper end of this came back about 500,000 ounces of gold at just over 2 grams per ton, with excellent potential for expansion. The Allied Gold Zone is this material is within 150 meters of surface. It's in a broad area. It's about 350 meters by 250 meters, and it's open to expansion. So we've done any more future work on that. We got great response. We had drill results 6 grams over 117 meters, 4 grams over 56 meters, numerous intercepts of ranging almost 0.8 to say 1.4 grams over intervals ranging from 65 meters to 120 meters. So there's clearly an intrusive hosted gold system. This has got some high grade mineralization. We got one intercept that was 1.2 kilos over half a meter. That's kilograms of gold. So this is classic Kirkland style copper or gold telluride style mineralization. So we're very pleased with this, and it's open to expansion. But the expansion part involves a lot of drilling, and that's why we've reached a point where we just can't foot the bill for that type of expansion drilling. So we have been looking for a partner. We made that's no secret at all. And we've had strong interest from a number of majors. Fortunately, nothing's taking yet, but there's still irons in the fire, and there's still interest. And I don't think that reflects anything negative about the property. The majors are more focused on acquiring resources. They want near-term ounces to augment production, and we're not there yet. But they clearly we're on a system that could potentially get to that point. The unfortunate thing is that they're not willing to write checks to get us to that point. But so that was part of our strategy to where we transitioned from gold to copper, because we recognized that we had an historic old copper mine on just 2.5 kilometers southwest of the Old Town copper mine, and we went and took a look at it, and prospected and returned a number of samples of just high grade, massive chalcopyrite, bornate, very, very splashy numbers. So while this is kind of timely and with what's going on in the critical minerals industry, and so I talked to shareholders, key shareholders, and I said, well, look, we've got this opportunity. What do you think of us parking the gold for a bit and exploring this and seeing where we could take this? And they were supportive. They helped us raise $500,000 hard dollars late last year, and we undertook a small 720 meter drill program, 4 holes on the historic Cam copper. Cam was a direct shipping. It produced small amounts of direct shipping ore, high grade copper in the 40s and the 50s, and it's a shaft mine. It was only down a couple hundred feet, and and it had some subsequent drilling that showed that that this thing's got some legs. So we drilled 4 holes nearby, stepped out a bit, and every hole hit high grade copper, albeit not very wide zones, but our widest zone was 2.5 meters of 14.6% copper. I encourage listeners to take a look at the pictures on the website, because you don't see that kind of high grade splashy copper, massive chalcopyrite that often. So we were pleased with that, and we announced the results, and we got we made a splash, and a lot of volume was traded, and that was good. But that's another story. So subsequent to that, we said, okay, well, we need to check, and I guess most importantly out of all of that is that this work confirmed that this is VMS style mineralization. Historically, they weren't sure what it was. They're calling it exhalative. There was a bit of copper, but it's thin, but we're definitely seeing alteration and geological characteristics and traits of a true VMS type system. So we had a kilometer open strike to the southeast to our property boundary. There was a historic airborne EM survey that was done in the 70s that suggested that there's a large conductor, persistent conductor along that trend, possibly reflecting more VMS style mineralization. So we got on the ground and we did a chrome geophysics, and we did a survey, and we returned a whopping anomaly. It's 200 Siemens, which is magnitude, a high magnitude conductor that's 550 meters to the southeast of Cam, that extends to the southern border. So we're very pleased with that, and it's got all the characteristics, and it looks like this reflects something much larger than a 2.5 meter wide conductor. This is big, and then the historic surveys also indicated that this conductor persisted onto the property to the southeast, which is called the Phillip property, and up to 350 meters. So collectively, we got a surface trace of about 700 meters of this thing. So we wanted to make sure that we had this all tied up before we started making a lot of noise about it and drilling it. And like I said, just late May, we we signed a LOI on with this Phillip property, as well as property in the northeast or the northwest that occupies overlies two other historic shaft mines on the Boston Creek Trend. So we basically consolidated this whole trend, and that was our strategy, was to do this before we really went drilling, because we hit, and we feel very, very confident we're going to hit. We got it all, and we're not just going to be working a piece of it and have some competition. So our LOIs effectively lock up these properties for 6 months. That gives us time to raise the capital and do the drilling and see whether or not this this zone is good. We're not going to drill outside of our property this go around, but we'll have the buffer that we require. Yeah, very excited about this, and that's been the subject of our news lately. And so we just recently announced financing. We're going for upwards a minimum of $1 million. It's flow through. It's critical minerals flow through eligible for Ontario investors, and we're looking at about 600,000 flow through and about 400,000 hard dollar. It's priced to market, and it's moving. It's not easy raising capital these days. But,
definitely.
But we are gaining some headway. We've got a lot of interest from retail side. We've got a strong shareholder base that we've got that have been with us for a number of years, and it's just great to have these types of shareholders and believers. So we also have the detractors. So don't worry about that. We're subject to daily shorting and blind naked shorting and everything, all the other nasty things that are going on in the junior resource sector, which is just shameful. But it is what it is, and you just do what you can to try and circumvent that. But we'll get there. It's just nothing's easy, but I really like where we're at in terms of the properties, our land position, and our target is. I think it's a first class drill target that could translate into a significant discovery with just a few balls.
And the drilling program, essentially, with the proceeds of the private placements, as you already mentioned, this would be a key to perhaps increase shareholder value for the existing shareholders.
Absolutely, that's the name of the game. We want to make a new discovery. Historically, Northstar, we raise money, we put it in the ground, we drill, we get results. The results are, whereas a lot of our other companies probably wouldn't be as aggressive, but we like to drill, we like to explore, and try to do this incrementally to and then try to realize an increase in share price, and that's kind of the way to do it. But unfortunately, our results haven't translated into. We've got bumps, but where it's gone up, but it doesn't in this market, this horrible market. People are playing half-cent margins, and until you lose that type of investor, you're going to be struggling. But we're going to get there, and I think this is our ticket to for a whole new reality for Northstar.
And since we're already sort of at the end of our interview, are there any sort of last remarks or things that you want to highlight, perhaps?
Well, I think just Northstar, invite investors to take a look. It's not often you've got we're first world, we're road accessible. We've got we're in one of the most prolific mineralized greenstone belts in the world, the Abitibi. We're right next door to Macassa, and a number of high grade gold mines along that belt. And we've got the style of our mineralization is the same. We've got a Kirkland style copper gold mineralization. Our VMS mineralization, it's newly recognized. even though it's been mined, 70 years ago. We're looking at it in a new light, and we've got strong indications that we're going to be drill testing the heart of this. So we've got high grades is king, and always will be. So we've got high grade gold, we've got high grade copper, and I think investors take a look at that, and they take a look at the management, and we're all professionals, and we've got we're accredited, and we've been around for a while. We haven't done this isn't something we just picked up. So I think that I invite investors take a look at us, put us under a microscope, hey, we've got a regional play, an area play, copper play that's all tied up, and you can get in for a nickel right now. There's no better. It doesn't come much cheaper than that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for these closing remarks, Brian, and it was great listening to you and just asking you questions. I appreciate the time with you, and it was great.